Hey guys, I just wanted to pop on and say something quick, something that I've been seeing recently often. When we're dealing with mental health issues, just because we may have the same diagnosis as someone else doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have the same symptoms or the exact same outcomes when it's dealing with medication, etc., etc. And my thing is always to be kind. You never know what someone is going through. And especially in the mental health community, like the stereotypes in the mental health community is enough by itself. So if you are personally someone who deals with issues yourself, I would think that you would want to be more careful with what you say and how you say it, knowing what you deal with your own self on a daily basis. So I just want to remind people to try to be more aware of what they're saying and how they say it, because it does matter. So I've been seeing like, oh, well, you can't possibly have anxiety because I have anxiety and I can't do this type of job. I can't do that. If you had anxiety, you wouldn't be able to do that. Case by case basis. You're not them. They're not you. Something that affects them and gets them anxious may not do the same for you. We're not the same. I always say, just as unique as our fingerprints are, no one else but us. You know, we're so unique. We're all different. And it matters. So people may be putting you down and saying how this, that, and the third, and then invalidating what you're going through because they can't see it. You know, because you can't always see everything that's going on with mental health. It's really silent at times, depending on your diagnosis. So when people are talking to you, how do you feel when they're just dismissive? Doctors, psychiatrists, whomever. So I've been seeing it too often, and people are saying that they're dealing with certain things and telling somebody else that they can't possibly be doing this. Why are you milking this? Why are you lying? How do you know? If you don't know them personally, it has to stop. Because how would you feel if somebody was dismissing you like that? It's just something that's really been getting under my skin lately. And so I just had to come on and say a little something. Like, I have friends who, like, I have cyclothymia, which is a lesser form of bipolar. I have anxiety and panic. Now, I have friends that have some of the issues I have. Mind you, I love talking on the phone. On the phone, I'm at my best. I go but if it's like a certain type of situation, like a dreaded situation or something, whatever, I'll get anxious, not want to have the conversation. And so I prefer to text. I think texting, because, you're not hearing the tone, there's many things that's missing in the context of a text. So it's kind of like a cheat card. So I prefer to text. And I have friends who, when they write a text message, it literally takes them they take so long writing one text. And I'm like, you're still not done with that text? Like, how are you still not done? It's just a text. It's 1, 2, 3. You're not on the phone. And so where they would get more anxious texting, I will be like, what do you mean? Like, texting is a breeze for me. And for that specific situation, if I was on the phone, it would be an issue. And they would prefer to just call and get it over with that way. I'm just saying it all depends, and it's all a case by case basis. So, I have friends that go to, their therapist or psych doc, and they're like, oh, they tell them everything that's going on, and, the doctor's saying, oh, well, you look like you're doing well. You look like you're doing good. And they feel dismissed, like, oh, because I look like this, you're saying, screw everything that's going on. I'm telling you what's going on, pouring out my heart to you, wearing my, my emotions on a sleeve, and that they're not taking them serious or whatever, because, just because they're not sitting there physically, visibly crying, or sobbing, or like looking like they're at their wits' ends, because they're keeping up as best they can. So, that doesn't mean that they're not at their wits' end just because they doesn't look like that they're at their wits' end. So it's really so much. And, I could have wrote up a freaking script about this, because I'm sure after I'm done with this video, I'm going to be like, oh man, like, there's more that I wanted to say, or I don't like the way I said that. But I just want to tell people, be kind. What something looks like for you doesn't necessarily look like that for the next person. And just be kind. Use your words wisely. Think before you speak. Have a good night, loves.